Hello and welcome to Inside Out. On tonight's programme, house prices, getting on the property ladder in the Midlands' most expensive town.
The price is actually £134,950.
That's nearly twice what I can afford.
Well, house sales seem to have slowed down, and there are signs that house prices are beginning to level off too. But if you're one of thousands of first-time buyers, is there any way left to get your first foot on the property ladder? House hunting is a real pain at the best of times, but it's now part of Max Amos's daily routine. He's 30 years old and still lives at home with his mum and dad. Not through choice, though. He's part of a growing number of people who are finding it virtually impossible to buy their first home.
When I was much younger, it never occurred to me that I would still be with my parents, so at the age of 30. Not in my wildest dreams. I feel it makes me feel like a bit of a sort of a big kid, really.
Rugby, Max's hometown, has seen house prices rise nearly 20% in the last year. Which means first-time buyers just aren't getting a look in. It comes as no surprise, does it, when I tell you that house prices have gone up so much in the last few years that properties which were once ideal for first-time buyers are now way out of their reach. Hi Max, how you doing?
Hi Ashley.
Jeff?
Hi Ashley.
Now this is the house you've chosen because it looks ideal for you, doesn't it? It looks very nice from the outside. Should we have a look inside?
Certainly, if you'd like to walk this way. Right, we've got the lounge through here. As you can see, it's a nice airy room. UPVC double glazing, and there is gas central heating in the property.
Very nice. Quite large, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, quite spacious.
Right, we have the bathroom straight through there. And through here we've got the master bedroom. As you can see, I've got fitted wardrobes here. Through here we've got the kitchen. As you see, you've got the kitchen area here and the dining area on that side. And the good thing about this is most of the kitchen appliances will be staying.
Jeff, just before you reveal the asking price for Max's ideal property, why have house prices gone up in this area?
Well, like the rest of the country, house prices have gone up in the last few years, but particularly in Rugby because there are great transport links and there are more jobs in this area now.
You meet these people, it must be terribly frustrating for them.
It is. We get people coming in month after month looking for something and keep getting pipped by the post.
So, put us out of our misery, how much is Max's ideal property going for?
OK, for this one, Max, your potential ideal first-time purchase, the price is actually £134,950.
How does that feel?
That's nearly twice what I can afford.
The search goes on.
Search goes on.
OK.
Crack on. House prices have been rising dramatically across the country for several years, but according to figures from the Halifax, the Midlands now has the third highest in the country. It's no wonder then that 90% of housing in the region is unaffordable to the first-time buyer. So there's now a real temptation for them to borrow huge amounts of money to get the house they want, especially as interest rates are still relatively low. Yeah, hello. I want to apply for a mortgage, but I think I'm looking for something bigger than my salary would allow. What should I say on the form? Right, so what I should say is that I have an additional income from elsewhere. Cheers, bye-bye. I've just spoken to 5 self-cert mortgage companies. 3 of them encouraged me to lie about my income. 2 offered to lend me 5 times my salary. If I'd have been a first-time buyer, I'd have been landed with a mortgage that I couldn't really afford. Not really a solution, is it? If you're on a lower salary, things are even worse. Most people working in the public sector now have real problems getting their feet on the property ladder. Mark Wilde and Sandra Clark have been looking for a house for 18 months and are finding it really frustrating that they can't find anything.
We work for the National Health Service, we're nurses, we can't seem to do anything. I mean, other people, you know, seem to have houses and things, and you just feel really like you have to have like a major income coming in to get anywhere, and it is really disheartening, to be honest.
The frustrating thing is that the rent is more than what we'd be actually paying for a mortgage.
But Sancha and Mark have been going down the traditional route of house hunting. There are other ways. That is to buy off plan. In other words, before the property's even been built. Sancha, do you know how it works?
No.
Well, it could be the answer to you and Mark's dreams, because the way it works is you come along and you buy your property off the plan, off a piece of paper like that, off a drawing. How would you feel about buying a house like that?
As long as it saves some money, it'd be fine.
And by doing that, before it's even built, you can save yourself £20,000. How do you feel about that?
That much?
It's a lot of money, isn't
It
it?
is, yeah. That could make a huge difference to me and Mark and other first-time buyers, really.
By getting in quickly, buying off plan, you get the advantage of the prices of the first release. As the site goes on, and if it's quite a large development and there's lots of similar type of properties being built, the properties are going to go up over the months and the year that you're actually there on site. So they've bought right at the beginning of the market. So by the time they move in, they've already made quite a considerable profit. What they are going to be able to see is a plan of how the development is going to look at the end of it. They have to have a little imagination. They can actually tailor-make the home to suit them. They get the advantage of all the choices, their kitchen designs and the layouts, carpets, curtains, landscape gardens, for example.
Buying off plan is one solution, but what about buying run-down houses and doing them up?
Hiya, I'm from BBC Television. We're just...
As we were making this film, we came across builders who do just that.
Craig, when did you buy your first property?
Yeah, we bought the first one in August 2 years ago.
And how many have you bought since then?
So we're on our fourth one now. So
That's quite a lot.
it is, yeah.
What made you buy property in the first place?
Well, we just saw everyone else making loads and loads of money at it, and we knew we could do it. We was in the right business, we've got the skill between the three of us. So well, we eventually got the money together to do the first one. We've never looked back since.
In this street alone, we've had 4 houses turn around and we've probably cleared 60 grand.
So what would your advice be to first-time buyers?
If you're going to do it quick, yeah, but don't go in these things thinking you're going to do it cheap. You know, price up properly for your materials and your labour costs, otherwise you'll make a mess of it.
So good advice there. Buy a house cheaply and do it up, or buy off plan. Remember Max? Well, his more traditional approach to house hunting still isn't paying off. Even though this house is a lot smaller than the last one he looked at, it's still £20,000 too much. Well, he's going to have to make some compromises, and we've got one in mind.
OK, Max, we've got one more property to look at. It's well within your price range. It's a bit more of a commute to work, though. Those are the details. Shall we go and have a look?
Right. Yep, OK.
Coventry may be a bit of a commute, but at least Max can afford this house. Have we managed to find something at last?
Right, Max, have we found you a home?
I'm afraid I don't think we have, Ash. It's not really where I want to live, and it's not what I'm after, really.
That's a shame. So, it's back to square one for Max. And he's not alone. An increasing number of people are finding it difficult to buy their first home. There are, of course, many different ways of going about it, but for many first-time buyers, it's a long, hard slog. Come on, Max, I'll buy you a beer.
All right, thanks.
Well, Max is still looking to find his first property. So stick with it, Max. I'm sure you'll find something in the end, and good luck.
On next week's Inside Out, noise pollution. We go on the road with Coventry's Noisy Neighbour Patrol. All in the best possible taste, the Vietnam War restaged just outside Wolverhampton. In a moment, EastEnders.